Hi, Katie. How are you?
Hi, I'm so good. How are you?
I'm okay here in Higher Minds podcast land. Yeah,
Yeah,
good
it's a good
stuff.
place to be.
It is. Holy shit. I got into an accident yesterday. Nothing serious. I'm fine. But yeah, I got a little strawberry. It hurt. Actually, my other elbow hurts a lot. So let me tell you. So I got my son a new electric scooter. I got my kids a couple of electric scooters a while ago, but they were like for little kids and everything, and they only go up to like 8 and 10 miles an hour and shit. And so I promised my son for his birthday this year that I'd get him an electric scooter. And so I finally did. And I got myself one before I got that. I upgraded his, and mine's badass. Mine's fucking cool. You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. His, if mine's a Ford, his is a Camaro. That's I totally mix like genres there. Let me say, if mine's an F-150, his is a Camaro. His is fucking sweet as shit. His is awesome. I didn't know, like I ordered it online. I didn't know how cool it was until we picked it up and put it together. I'm like, oh man, I want this one. Anyway, I am. I told him several times. But yeah, so my fucking dumbass, or we're riding up and down the street. And my dumbass is, acting like a kid with them and showing them how we used to jump curbs when we were little kids. And I was like, hey, look, I make a big old scene about it. I was really dramatic. I went all the way like around, like across the street, build up speed, cross the street back again, build up more speed. And like, hey, look, watch, and splat on the fucking road. I was wearing my slippers. Like, so like,
first.
I went up the ramp, but I caught a notch, and so I just did flipped right over instead of going up. I just went around into the ground.
Oh man.
And I had slippers on, and so my slippers ended up one of my slippers ended up across the street on the sidewalk, and my other one was in the middle of the road. And I just land there with my thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Gonna be okay.
So that was fun.
Give me a minute.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah. When I went to the beach over the weekend,
yeah,
Dad and his son brought one of those wooden wakeboards, and there's not a lot of action like that over on the Gulf side here. And he just went running and took off and fell straight down on that wooden board on the water and the sound. It was awful, and I was like, oh my God.
Oh no, that sounds horrible.
Why would you do that in front of so many people? It was a weekend day. That place was packed, and he just biffed it in front of everybody.
Oh, that means it's probably on camera somewhere.
Oh man.
Nice. Maybe we'll see it in a couple of days.
Maybe. I felt bad for him because he tried to play it off. I'm like, bro, you're gonna be hurting so bad tomorrow.
Benny Hill music in the
you're
background.
Old enough to know better.
Yeah.
Just like your ass should have been.
Oh, I was. Yeah. I told my son, I was like, your dad's kind of stupid. He's like,
Fair
didn't
enough.
disagree.
Yeah.
But he was nice. He was sweet. He checked to see if I was okay. Was that kid okay?
Oh yeah, we all just stood there and took it all in because I mean, we're all adults. You hate to laugh at them, but
yeah. You know what he should have had?
What's that?
One of those off-world vehicles that the fucking government's talking about.
Ooh, yes. I can't.
You've heard about this, yeah?
Yes, I have.
What are they talking about? Oh my God. They've captured a vehicle, and they're gonna a space alien vehicle. I don't have the article in front of me, and I haven't really read any articles. I've just seen headlines and stuff. But all I've heard is it's to come, right?
Yeah, they're supposed to be releasing information about a non-Earth made vehicle. Is essentially what it said. So, why is that? I mean, is that on the news? I don't watch it, so I honestly can't say. But is that on? Why would that not be all over the news? We're confirming for a fact something is here that was not made here. That seems like a big deal.
Right. And I mean, yeah, the media is for the last. What we were talking about this yesterday. The media has and the government has been giving us dribs and drabs slowly over the last well, over the years, been kind of increasing the little bits of information that they know about aliens. But since like Orson Welles' War of the Worlds, they've been kind of, it's my opinion that they've been conditioning us to accept the existence of extraterrestrial intelligence into our lives. Why they're doing it so slowly, I don't know. I think it's fucking cool, but then again, we have people that don't think Black Lives Matter, so that makes sense why they wouldn't want to hang out with us.
Maybe we need to let the aliens sort that shit out.
Maybe. Hashtag BLM. Yeah, so that's exciting news.
I can't wait to see it. Honestly.
It's coming. I hope it's not some lame ass shit like Elon Musk's car that he launched had a baby with another like meteor or something. And
well, I mean, have you watched the video clips they put out, like the footage of?
No, have you?
Yeah, look it up.
And
I mean, it's definitely a shape. Like it doesn't look like a car or something like that. It's like what you would imagine a UFO shape kind of would be. So
I mean, can you describe it a little?
Like yeah, like Saturn-y looking, round with like a middle ring.
So okay.
Shape, you know what I mean? It doesn't. Maybe it's not a ring, but like it gets wider in the middle right there. The video. I mean,
Saturn-y looking is very descriptive. So
okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, I got the exact image. It's like, have you ever seen Flight of the Navigator?
No.
I'm
sorry.
Okay, well, it's that shit morphs, and it's like there's an interior ball with like an exterior ring around the edge, kind of thing.
Okay.
A flattened ring around the edge. Anyway, so speaking about aliens, today we're talking about Bettelyn Rutherford Carnegie White.
Wow.
That was her name, right?
Oh, I can't sing anything. I just want to sing everything that pops into my head.
You can sing everything.
Okay, good.
Anyway, yeah, we're talking about Betty White. Yay!
Betty! Have you heard about Betty?
I have. Oh my god! I want to up top just say this woman is a powerhouse who happens to act a little. Like this woman is amazing. I didn't realize that how fucking cool and awesome she was. Like, yeah, Golden Girls was cool and that's an iconic and everything, and old lady power, yay, that's fun. But no, but before that, she did some badass motherfucking shit. Like, I am a much bigger fan of Betty White now.
That's funny. Well, I'm anxious to hear the first part because a lot of the second part I need. Just looking, after the
So, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, my sources are Mental Floss and Wikipedia. There's a lot of copy pasting going on with this one, but that's because they just had good information that I really couldn't cut out very well. So, let's get into it. Betty Marion White Ludden, born January 27th in 1922. 1922 is also the title of a Stephen King short novel about a man in the Depression era who kills his wife and tries to get his son to go along with it.
Ooh.
That's not relevant to anything. That's what came up when I typed in 1922. But also, I also looked up for other events in 1922, and in 1922, Niels Bohr got the I see it doesn't say which award. I want to say the Nobel Peace Prize for his services in the investigation of the structure of atoms and the radiation emanating from them. That later became the A-bomb. All right, so we've got it cut into, I have her earlier life and you have her later life. So from 1939 to 1949, within that timeline, White began her television career in 1939. 3 months after high school graduation, when she and a classmate sang songs from The Merry Widow on an experimental Los Angeles channel. White found work modeling, and her first professional acting job was at the Bliss Hayden Little Theater. When World War II broke out, she put her career on hold and volunteered for the American Women's Voluntary Services. So she had already graduated high school when World War II broke out. So, wow. She's been around. Yes. Her assignment included the transportation of military supplies through California. She also She also participated in events for troops before they were deployed overseas. After the war, White made rounds to movie studios looking for work, but was always turned down because she was unphotogenic. I don't get that. Like, she was a hottie. Like, now, I mean, sorry. She's not sexually attractive to me now. But 20-year-old, have you seen pictures of 20-year-old Betty White? Yeah. So then she started to look for radio jobs, but being photogenic did not matter. Her first radio jobs included reading commercials and playing bit parts, and sometimes even doing crowd noises, which is what we do. She made about $5 a show, which is more than we make. So adjusting for inflation, we make $0. She would do just about anything, like singing on a show for no money or making an appearance on the local game show. She appeared in shows such as Blondie, The Great Gildersleeve, and This Is Your FBI, which caught my eye. Do you remember?
Did you see my head turn like a puppy?
Yeah. So yeah. And I looked it up. This Is Your FBI on Wikipedia, and this is what it said. This Is Your FBI is a radio crime drama broadcast in the United States on ABC from April 6th, 1945 to January 30th, 1953, for a total of 409 shows. Whoa. FBI Chief J. Edgar Hoover gave it his endorsement, calling it the finest dramatic program on the air. How cool is that? Than him. I bet Miss White gave him some fashion tips.
Possibly. She also
which is fine.
It is. She had I didn't write down it. Like highlighted a couple like friends that were, I guess, notable, and one was a singer who was gay back then. She kind of advocated. So she's always been down.
Yeah.
Down with the cause.
I mean, she's been. Yeah, she has, and I mean, I go on. She's fucking cool. She's really fucking cool. So. Anyway, then she got her own radio show called The Betty White Show in 1949. So this is 1949. All right. And she is, 27. She got her own radio show at 27. She began appearing as co-host with Al Jarvis on his live daily television variety show, Hollywood on Television, originally called Al Jarvis Make Believe Ballroom, on KFWB radio on KLAC TV in Los Angeles. That was my radio announcer voice.
I liked it. Yeah, you did a good job.
We were always playing the hits, which was horrible. That was really bad. I shouldn't have done that. I just fucked up my resume. Anyway, in the 1950s, White began hosting the show by herself in 1952 after Jarvis's departure. Spanning 5.5 hours of live ad-lib television 6 days per week over a contiguous 4-year span altogether. What do? We do an hour, 1 day a week?
Yeah.
And it's a lot. We work at it? Well, I work at it.
Right.
I think you do. In all of her various variety series over the years, White would sing at least a couple of songs during each broadcast. In 1951, she was nominated for her first Emmy Award as Best Actress on Television. In 1952, the same year that she began hosting Hollywood on Television, White co-founded Bandy Productions with writer George Tibbles and Don Feddersen, a producer. So in 1952, she's 30 years old, and she now owns a production company.
Crazy.
Fucking cool.
Yeah.
Fucking cool. Go her. And I mean, this was in 52 when women weren't shit.
Right.
Women were thought to be not shit.
Yes.
Women were not given respect at all. And we're talking about Hollywood. Remember the whole Me Too thing?
Yeah.
Like, that shit was nasty back then. Like, you could get away with just straight up raping an actress back then. Very not cool. Too, but... I'm glad Weinstein is in jail. I hope he's getting raped a lot too. Although he's got the privilege or the benefit of being in jail and being super ugly, like nobody's gonna want to fuck him.
He'll probably get beat though. I read in all of my reading, I feel like I should always preface that, but I read a theory that he was in Gitmo and just talking on everybody, singing on everybody involved.
Yeah, Gitmo, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
just something I read.
I don't know.
Just throwing it out there.
You read a lot of weird shit.
I do. I read a lot of normal shit too.
So where was I? Blah, blah, blah. So the trio worked to create new shows using existing characters from sketches shown on Hollywood on television. White, Feddersen, and Tibbles created the television comedy Life with Elizabeth, with White portraying the title role. Just so you know, Elizabeth is not Betty White's name. Betty is Betty's first name. It's just Betty. It's not short for anything. The show was originally live in production in KLAC-TV in 1951 and won White a regional Los Angeles Emmy in 1952. A lot happened when she was 30.
Yeah.
Life with Elizabeth was nationally syndicated from 1952 to 1955, allowing White to become one of the few women in television with full creative control in front of and behind the camera. Very cool. Yeah. The show was unusual for a sitcom in the 1950s because it was co-produced and owned by a 28-year-old woman who lived with her parents. Wait a second, 28? I guess in 1950 she was 28, but that's not what that's saying. So in 1954, when she was 32, she hosted and produced her own daily talk variety show, The Betty White Show, on NBC. Her second show featured that title. Like her sitcom, she had creative control over the series and was able to hire a female director. Also, unheard of. The only other female director that I can think of was Riefenstahl. Do you remember who Riefenstahl was? Riefenstahl. That should tell you who the accent. Okay, she was a propaganda director for the Nazis. Her and Disney were friends.
Oh, go figure.
Yeah. So this is fucking cool though, for me. I mean, the woman stuff is cool too, but this part is cool for me too. The show faced criticism for the inclusion of Arthur Duncan, an African-American performer, as a regular cast member. The criticism followed when NBC expanded the show nationally. Local Southern stations threatened to boycott Duncan unless... Local Southern stations threatened to boycott unless Duncan was removed from the series. In response, White said, "I'm sorry, live with it." Fucking cool. Oh my God, I just got a wood. Black people are here. And she ended up giving Duncan more airtime. Initially a rating success, the show repeatedly changed time slots and suffered lower viewership. By the end of the year, NBC quietly canceled the series. From 57 to 58, she was in a show called Life with Elizabeth, again, which was a ratings disaster. It had to do with a girl who daydreams, and sponsors had issues with those daydreams. It didn't really get into what those daydreams was, and I didn't really look at it, but I'm sure it was her making love to a black guy. She hated it too and wanted to get out. She was compelled, however, to fulfill her contract. In the 60s, White turned her attention to network game shows. She made many appearances on the hit Password show as a celebrity guest from 1961 through 1975. She married the show's host, Alan Ludden, and she has subsequently kept that name, in 1963. She subsequently appeared on the show's 3 updated versions, Password Plus, Super Password, and $1 Million Password, having been on versions of the game with 5 different hosts: Alan Ludden, Bill Coates, Tom Kennedy, Bert Convy, and Regis Philbin. R.I.P. Yeah. He just died.
Yes, he did.
I bet he and Kathy Lee partied hard. Kathy Lee still parties hard.
Sure of it. You don't wear flashy shirts and ties like that and not get down.
Unless that was his only form of getting down. He was like super conservative except for his ties that he just had to have. So White made frequent game show appearances on What's My Line starting in 1955. To Tell the Truth in 61, 90, and 2015. I've Got a Secret in 72 through 73. Match Game 73 to 82. And Pyramid starting in 82. Both Password and Pyramid were created by White's friend, Bob Stewart. She made her feature film Bob Stewart.
Sorry.
She made her feature film debut as Kansas Senator Elizabeth Ames Adams in the 1962 drama Advice and Consent. Although her performance was well received, it would be her only big screen appearance for decades. NBC offered her an anchor job on their flagship morning show Today. She turned down the offer because she didn't want to move to New York, where Today is produced permanently. The job eventually went to Barbara Walters, which, in the scheme of things, I think everybody made the good decision with that. Like, I like where Barbara Walters is. I like where Betty White is. I think everybody did a good job. So through the 50s and 60s, White began a 19-year run as a hostess and commentator on the annual Tournament of Roses Parade broadcast on the NBC, often hosting with Lauren Green, and appearing on a number of late-night talk shows, including Jack Parr's Tonight Show and other daytime game shows. All right, in the 1970s, White started playing Sue Ann Nivens in The Mary Tyler Moore Show. In 1973, White made several appearances in the fourth season of The Mary Tyler Moore Show as the man-hungry Sue Ann Nivens. The role garnered White her second and third Emmy Awards, although considering the role a highlight of her career, she was described as she described the character's image as icky sweet, feeling she was the very definition of feminine passivity, owing to the fact as she always satirized her own persona on screen in such a way. So this, right, that gives me pause. She is known to be this super sweet and nice grandma character. Like, my entire life, that's what she's been. And apparently she's been this super sweet maternal character her whole life, or her whole career. But apparently she's not that way at all. That's what it kind of sounds like. And honestly, her being a production company owner at 30, a woman in the 50s, I don't see how she could possibly be sweet. Like, I bet she's a fucking piranha.
You had to, like, not only hold your own, but then fight an unfair fight on top of it. That sucks.
Right. And then she was doing everything for the right reasons, too. So, cool.
Go her. Bad
yes.
Bitches only.
So, a running gag was that Sue Ann's hard-edged private personality was the complete opposite of how she presented herself on show. We need somebody who can play sickeningly sweet like Betty White, Moore herself suggested at a production meeting, which resulted in casting Betty White herself. White won 2 Emmy Awards back-to-back for her role in a hugely popular series. Following the end of the Mary Tyler Moore Show in 1977, White got her own sitcom on CBS, her 4th show entitled The Betty White Show. During the 1977 to 78 season, in which she co-starred with John Hillerman and former Mary Tyler Moore co-star Georgia Engel, it was canceled after 1 season. Let's hear it. Regale us, Katie.
So, 80s.
80s.
I gave him.
I was born in 1980.
86. I was born in 86. You're old.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
4
years older. Or 6 years older. My math is good.
That was really simple math, too, dude.
I was thinking 10 minus 6, but I don't know.
Were you?
I was. Because that's 4.
Oh. Woo, all right. So, First Lady of Game Shows, that's what I titled this chapter. It starts in the 80s. So, 83, Betty became the first woman to win a daytime Emmy Award for the show Just Men, which I didn't know that one. I know a lot of these old shows, and that was not one of them. So, yeah. She was deemed the First Lady of Game Shows for the vast amount of work she does on them. Makes sense. 83 to 84, she had a recurring role as Ellen Harper Jackson on Mama's Family. Who she actually also was on that show was Rue McLachlan, who was also on Golden Girls with her. So she worked with her on 2 shows. So that's fun.
Yeah, and so I kind of wanted to point out when you got to Rue and her, So the Sue Ann Nivens character from the Mary Tyler Moore Show
Yeah.
sounds like it was the Rue McLachlan character from the Golden Girls, and I get into it later, but I don't know if you know, but that's the role for which she originally auditioned, which would be basically reprising the Sue Ann character. But I think they went the right way with that, whereas Rue McClanahan has that sultry Southern swagger. Not that Betty White doesn't have her own swagger, but it's not that type of swagger.
Not the same.
Yeah.
Yes, I kind of touched on that later too. Pretty much. So Betty come up with the character on her sketches for the Carol Burnett show in the 70s. So it's kind of fun that she has carried a lot of these characters over in some form to these other shows, like the next shows. It's kind of cool. So she ended up leaving that show, but it came back in 86 to do a one more appearance kind of a thing. So she was done with that, but in 85 is when the magic happened. She got her role as Miss Rose in the Golden Girls. I knew before I was born. I didn't realize how long
From
that
Mount
show
Olive.
actually ran. Minnesota.
It was a spinoff, wasn't it? Or was Empty Nest a spinoff of it? I think it was the spinoff of Empty Nest.
I'm not honestly sure.
I don't know.
Are you looking it up or are you just staring in space?
I'm staring. I'm staring at you.
So the show was obviously wildly popular and ran from 85 to 92. And I guess I didn't realize
Still popular.
It's probably more popular now than it was then.
Probably. Fucking millennials.
You can find that stuff, I mean, everywhere. Everywhere. I was in the gas station, there was a lanyard that had the Golden Girls on it. I'm like, why is this even here? It was weird.
I have a friend with Golden Girls PJ bottoms.
Yeah. I have a Golden Girls chia pet. So that's fun.
Who?
The old one.
Estelle?
Yeah.
Estelle Getty?
Yes.
What was that? That wasn't her character's name, right? That was the actress's name. What was the character's name?
Her name is eluding me.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'm I could try and roll through it. So Betty won Emmy for Outstanding Actress in a Comedy Series for the first season, and every season after that the show was on, she was nominated. That is impressive.
Wow. I mean, she's obviously worthy of the award on her talent, but I wonder how much
likable.
Yeah, I wonder how much her gravitas played a part in her getting those awards, though. You know what I mean? Just the power of her essence, just the awards gravitate towards her just because of that.
It feels like that later on too. She's just getting stuff because she's Betty White. You know what I mean? Which I mean, she's Betty White, so
yeah, I'm down.
That's that.
She's one of those people. If you admire, admiration is liking somebody who is better than you and being okay with it. Yeah. And I admire Betty White.
For sure. She's done way more than I'll ever do. So this is where I just had jotted down about how they originally were going to go for the opposite roles, but the director switched them since the roles were so similar to what they previously did in Mary Tyler Moore, which I really enjoyed. Mary Tyler Moore.
I never watched an episode.
Really, Laverne and Shirley and all those were my jam for a while.
Nah.
They're so funny. That's a shame. They're so funny.
They could have been. I don't know. I didn't. I just.
Could have been.
I don't know.
I don't care enough to know. That's funny. I'll pray for you. Just kidding. I mean, but not about that.
Thoughts and prayers.
Okay, so she had her doubts about playing Rose at first because she was such a sticky, sweet, and kind of like the script read very stupid. But the director pulled her aside and told her to not play Rose as stupid, but as a terminally naive person who has always believed the first explanation of something.
That's a great direction.
I mean, that's a pretty... That explains it. Someone who's believed the first explanation and never questioned it ever again. I mean, that definitely paints a picture. So, when the Golden Girls ended in 92, they tried to do a little spin-off, which I have no recollection of, called The Golden Palace. Did you know about it? It was
now that I'm realizing, now thinking about it, so Golden Palace, that makes me sound like, or that makes me think of like a Trump Russian whore P tape thing. And now that I'm thinking about Golden Girls, that doesn't change. If I'm not thinking about them, it sounds like a pee porn.
The pee porn.
Yeah.
That's gross. Beatrice.
That's never gonna go away now.
Yeah, it's out there.
Fuck.
And it's on the internet, so it's true.
Yeah.
So
did you know that actually Golden Girls was actually going to be a pee porn around the 80s and when this started, but the producer of the Golden Girls, the TV show, went and bought the rights to the name Golden Girls before the porn producer could buy the rights.
Smart.
None of that's true.
Okay. So thanks for that fun fact that was not a fun fact at all.
But no,
lie.
It was fun.
So Beatrice Arthur, that's how the show ended, is she like moved off and the three girls bought a hotel with like their money, the Golden Palace, and like unbeknownst to them, it was portrayed that it was still very successful, but it wasn't, and it didn't have any staff, so they had to work the hotel to like keep it afloat. I had to go look it up because I was like, I need to know more about this because I can't believe I don't know.
I think
when
I remember
I saw
that.
a picture of it, I vaguely remembered like the credits and like that picture, but I don't really remember. I have a ton of memories of the show. It was only on one season, and then people were like, "We're done." So, it's different without Blanche. Like, she's a solid character. So
yeah, she's the last one, isn't she?
I think so. Or wait, I don't honestly remember. I don't want to lie.
Do you know that Estelle Getty was the youngest one on that show, like in real life?
Ain't that some shit? Her hair. Oh man, that was such a good show. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. Well, yeah, my mom did, and I did with her. I don't know.
Like they were
one of those
funny.
things that,
Funny. Because things were also racier then. Like you could get away with saying things that, even though it seems like we're, like you might see grosser things on TV now. Like they said some shit that wouldn't fly now. It was just funny. That's that. So after the one season of the Golden Palace ended, Betty guest starred in many TV programs, including Suddenly Susan, The Practice, Yes Dear. She received Emmy nominations for lots of those like individual appearances. Let's see. So in '96, she won an Emmy for Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series. She gets that like a lot of times. Where she was herself on an episode of the John, maybe Larroquette. I don't really know how to say it, but I'll say.
Yeah, Larroquette. That's right.
Okay, good. Oof. I always get like awful anxiety reading names. So he had a show, and there was an episode called "Here We Go Again," which was a spoof of Sunset Boulevard, where Betty convinces him to help her write her memoirs, and McLachlan and Getty appear on this little sketch too, so it's kind of fun. And so there's the three of them, and they need to appear as the original cast. So he has to dress up as Beatrice Arthur. And I meant to look that up just so I could see like a screenshot of them all together and dressed up. Would have been funny.
I think we did a short little thing on here about B. Arthur once, or maybe we were going to or something. But you know, she was a Marine.
You know what? I feel like I did, and I feel like I would have probably only heard that from you.
Yeah, she was like hardcore.
That's pretty badass. So also the Golden Palace, that was the name of the chapter for the 90s. I didn't start with that. So I'll end with it. I still am going to look that up so I can see a picture of them together. Because she got an Emmy for that. So for a skit, it's probably pretty funny. So that takes us to the 2000s, Bold and Beautiful. So in 2006, Betty becomes Miss Anne Douglas for 22 episodes on the Bold and Beautiful. I never watched.
She did a soap opera?
Yes.
Like a recent one?
Ha! Bold and Beautiful, 2006. So I mean that's after I graduated.
Like in the world of acting, I wonder how fun soap operas are.
That has
like being
to
all
be.
dramatic.
Yes. Like, do they like have to do cuts because it's hard to be that over dramatic and stupid? Like, you look a fool.
I will. I won't. I will.
I love her. Like they're just so like they scream and the guns and the falling. Like it's a lot. I could never get into it.
My twin.
Oh my god, no. I can't.
That sounds fun.
I watched all the game shows though. Like if I was home from school or something, it was game shows, not this crap. But if you like it, that's fine. So she also had a reoccurring role on Boston Legal from 2005 to 2008.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch? Is that a good show? That's like on my short
Boston
list.
Legal's such a good show.
Okay, it's on my short list of things to watch next because I'm like COVID got me watching many shows.
It's got a lot of heavy hitters on that show.
Is
it's
James
good
Spader
stuff.
in that? Did I make that up?
Yeah, no, James Spader, William Shatner.
Because that's why originally I was like, I should watch that because I just finished Blacklist. So, whew.
Yeah. I think that James Spader's character on that is so much better than Blacklist.
Really? Because I love him in
like
Blacklist.
He's just. Oh, James Spader's character in Boston Legal is just exquisite. Just
I will start that next then, for sure. So that's that.
Acting caviar is what it is.
Ooh. Fish eggs.
Yeah. Not as good as what it sounds like.
I can't imagine. So that was I thought this was funny. She played I didn't see the show, so I don't know. She's played a gossiping blackmailer on the show. So funny. Yeah. And supposedly
it was funny.
It says this, I imagine it's true. That the character that she plays in that show, she played on was the character she originally played on The Practice in 2004. Was The Practice the spin-off of Grey's? Did I make that up? The redhead?
No, The Practice was with Dylan McDermott. It was another legal procedural.
Oh. What was that called? Private Practice. There it is. I knew it.
Oh, yeah.
I knew.
Yeah, no.
You. So in the 2000s, she does a lot of shows. She's on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, $1 Million Password. She did a big Oprah shenanigan for the Mary Tyler Moore reunion. Yeah. And I wrote down, in case you didn't mention, all the game shows she was on: Password, Match Game, Tattletales, Hollywood Squares, $25,000 pyramid. That came out really slow.
I am a robot. Beep boop beep. Just thinking about all of that, like it's such a variety of stuff, and she's kind of, I feel like she's asked to be a utility player like all the time, just kind of whatever you need, she can do.
Yeah.
Which I think is the actor's goal.
Need her to do is just be herself, just be there because of who she is. You know what I mean?
I mean, I do know what you mean, and yeah, sometimes, but sometimes she's an actress. She changes characters. She's not always
but
like the one in Boston Legal you were talking about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'd be interesting. I'm interested to see her play that. Yeah. I even wrote it down.
But my point is, But my point is that she's probably just a well of creative energy, like Robin Williams, but just Betty White style.
Yeah. Jim Carrey, like, you know what I mean? Just that kind of a mind. I imagine that too.
Jim Varney.
That's cool. Yeah.
I would like to have seen Jim Varney and Betty White together. That would have been nice.
Maybe you can like Photoshop them together in a picture and make it your profile picture for the day.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. It sounds like the kid from A Christmas Story. Okay, sorry. So in 2007, she starts starring in some pet med commercials. So I jotted that down. So that takes us to 2010s. The 2010s, the 2010s. I don't know what we call them now. That's weird.
I don't know. The 10s, I guess. Yeah.
Snickered.
What'd you call me?
I called the. No, I didn't. So in 2009, Mars Incorporated launched the "You're Not You When You're Hungry" thing.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
Yeah,
and
I do.
Her and Abe Vigoda made the commercial for the 2010 Super Bowl, and that commercial.
Is Abe Vigoda dead?
I even clicked on his little thing so I could put a face to that name because I did not know it. And
you don't know him?
Once I saw him, I did. I didn't know his name though.
I just referenced that was an Adam Sandler song anyway, so never mind. I'm old.
Sorry. That's funny. But that commercial won the top spot by whoever polls them on the Super Bowl. And then shortly after that, Facebook started the Betty White to host NSL Please Facebook group.
SNL?
Yeah. It was like a group called Betty White to host SNL Please. And
I signed it.
Did you?
I did.
So she in 2000 wait, no, that's not what that says. In January 2010, the group had grown to 500,000 people. When NBC said that on May 9th she would host the show, and that would have been her at 88 years old, was the oldest to host the show ever. So I
wonder how hard that was to do. Like they were like, all right, let's get Betty White. Betty was like, okay. And they pleased a lot of people and got a bunch of ratings and everybody was happy, right?
Yeah, because it felt like that was like the beginning of her like research. You know what I mean? Like she just like pops up and like the younger generation is like, yeah, we like her too. Like, and she just took off all over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what started that.
She deserves it. Yeah.
You better get it. So I remember.
I want to see her on a movie killing Nazis.
Maybe she will be.
We should start that a Facebook group. Betty White to kill Nazis in some movie.
Please.
Yes. Listeners, start it.
I'll sign it. Don't tag me in it. So in her monologue, I remember this. Her monologue, she said, "I didn't know what Facebook was, and now that I do, it sounds like a huge waste of time." I think that's funny. So this appearance on SNL got her yet another Emmy for Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series. Like, that's probably like a lot of words to fit on the little plaque, you know what I mean? Wow.
Well, I mean, she's got tons of them already.
Seven of those specifically.
She just tossed it into her Scrooge McDuck vault that she swims in occasionally, full of awards, TV awards.
Oh, that shit's crazy. So, let me turn this around. Yep. 2010. This is a busy year for her. She starred in Hot in Cleveland. I never watched that either.
I saw like 15 minutes of an episode.
Yeah. Can we talk about what this yellow stick is?
I just got this motherfucker. I love it so much. It's a massage stick.
Oh my god.
So I can massage myself. Because I'm always by myself.
Yeah. Mail me one.
Yeah, I got it from Target. It's super sturdy. I don't think I'll break it. Yeah.
I love Targets. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
So she was in Hot in Cleveland as an Elka Ostrovsky.
The English chick from Frasier was on that too.
Oh, okay. I liked Frasier. That show was funny to me too.
I did too.
It was very
Of course
funny.
I did. Listen to me.
I
I modeled my entire voice off of him.
See, that's why I like you. I like Frasier. That's funny. So she was asked to stay on the whole series instead of originally she was just going to be on the pilot episode, and that was 6 seasons, a total of 128 episodes. So she also was on the Hallmark.
I know I'm supposed to be paying attention to you and commenting and shit, but I do have this yellow stick, and I'm like making love to my back here.
No, that's why I'm like, I need to know exactly what that is, so I can have one.
It's awesome. Oh,
you feel so good. Oh man,
oh.
lugging, car seats, all the stuff we carry to the beach. I do everything in one trip. Car to where we land. If it doesn't come in one trip, it doesn't come with us. So I be looking like a fool. I'm surprised I'm not like on the internet, like crazy mom takes 2 kids to the beach by herself. It's a whole procedure. So, anyways, I need that stick. Hallmark Hall of Fame movie The Lost Valentine came out January 30th, 2011. She was in that bad boy. That was like one of the most popular that they ever aired. So I
really
think we can equate to that. The Lost Valentine. I have to look it up. So I had never really gotten into Hallmark movies or any of like the Christmas movies or any of that stuff. And like 2 years ago. Oh, you know what? I was pregnant. That's probably why. I was like overly emotional. I went on and just started binge watching these like Christmas movies like a fool. I was like, what have I been missing my whole life? I love Christmas. I felt like Jim that I had just started watching this mess. Oof. Crazy. And I still love them, so hopefully they keep pumping out these bangers. 2012
I guess,
2014.
sure. Go Die Hard.
Listen. Have you watched
It's the only Christmas movie you need. A Hallmark Christmas movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched one and I watched all of them.
Did you?
Yeah. They're all the same, right?
Oh, are you being funny?
You see one?
Are you trying?
Am I?
You're trying. 2012, 2014, she hosted and was the executive producer of the show Betty White's Off Your Rocker, where senior citizens pranked young kids. She won.
Did you see any of those?
No,
Those were
don't
funny.
watch a lot of TV.
Like it was a hidden camera show, and I mean, those are all pretty formulaic, but the addition of the senior citizens doing it to young people, was really good. It was really good.
Like the opposite. It's like Jackass for old people, but I don't know, what is it?
I guess, yeah.
Like for the pranks that like.
No, I mean they were senior citizens. They weren't like firing cannons into their stomach and
Were
shit.
they, like,
But
pooping on themselves and stuff? Like,
oh,
how
not
crazy
not
was
like
it?
that. Oh, I don't remember exactly.
Alright,
I
I'll
remember
look it
laughing
up.
pretty hard though.
I'll look it up. This was another fun one. See if I can get one on eBay. A Betty White calendar was published in 2010 for the year 2011, which featured pictures of
That
herself throughout her career and animals. That sounds pretty
okay.
sweet.
I'm glad for the description because a Betty White calendar gave me the wrong idea.
What do you mean?
I'm thinking Betty White in like fireman outfits and shit.
I
all
know,
like sweaty,
what you
holding the
mean.
hose.
Either would have been fine.
Yeah, I want to see Betty White in a
You're the one
fireman's
that
outfit.
said when she was younger, she was a babe.
Oh yeah,
Betty was babylicious. I didn't say when these pictures were from. But I think it's fun that she added pictures of animals. So, July of 2010. We're still talking about 2010. There was a little 2012, 2014 there. I don't know why. But she launched.
You know what they should have done? What the Betty White calendar should have been? Of like random pictures of her, from her camera roll where she like takes a picture of her eye, and then like the other 11 pictures are like the picture of her dog, but like at slightly different angles.
It's always like his eyeball, and you're like, all right. Or his new thing is he gets on and does like a Facebook Live and has no idea what he's doing. So like the phone's facing up, and you're looking at the fan going, and like sometimes you can see his like eyebrows and forehead. And you're like trying to type something, so you're like, is that your new light? Like you're just trying to say something so he knows like you can see exactly what's going on, and then he'll just go and like click, hang up. It's like he sees himself. He's like, whoa, I don't know what that is. Click. Oh, he's so precious. Okay, so she launched a clothing line in July of 2010 that was basically just shirts with her face all over them. So all the proceeds went to charity, though. So that's cute. That's cute, Betty.
Yeah.
So 2012, she wins her first Grammy for her spoken word recording for her best-selling book, If You Ask Me. But you probably won't. That's what the actual book's called. So she also won the UCLA Jack Benny Award for comedy, being recognized for her major contributions to comedy and television. So
cool.
That feels substantial. She also was roasted at the New York Friars Club. And that seems like also a big deal.
I don't know how anybody can sleep at like look themselves in the mirror after roasting Betty White. Like, what is wrong with you?
If she was a bad bitch, maybe they might know things we
like
don't all know.
She'd have to give me some ammo. She'd have to start like roasting me so I could like get in the mood because like I have nothing but respect for her.
That's so funny. I kind of want to watch it just to see what do you say about Betty White. Like,
you're right.
How dare you not be photogenic? Like, like what do you even say? She's someone who's perfect. I'm just kidding. So her 90th birthday, there was a TV special, Betty White's 90th birthday party, that aired the day before her birthday. On January 16, 2012, many stars appeared, and then President Obama gave a little video recording and just told her she was great. And so that was such a
She
success.
took a little trip to on Epstein's plane.
Might have.
Actually, I'm sorry, Miss White. I don't mean to. Oh, go ahead.
In 2013, the next year, they did it again. Because it was such a good time, I guess. This time, Bill Clinton is who was the special guest.
I mean, he was the president, but
yeah.
I'm not trying to malign her by saying she was associated with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. When's
that bitch gonna talk? Ghislaine Maxwell?
When are we gonna get? I don't even think her first court anything is set until next year, like July of 2021.
Yeah. Like, it's
What the
gonna
fuck?
be a while.
What the fuck? Is she gonna stay alive? I can't judge how I feel about it. Is she gonna stay alive? Is she gonna be killed off? But everyone dropping around her. This
Yeah,
shit's
there's a
getting
few
crazy.
people that are going out
The
too. There's that judge's kid who got
yes, straight blasted the kid and shot his dad. What?
right.
Fuck.
Like, if that's not suspicious as fuck. I mean, I feel
killed
so bad for that
himself.
judge. So sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
I
walk
mean,
upstairs
that's
to find,
suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. And who was the other one that was related to the case? Shit. There's another like a direct effect death.
Are you talking about the banker guy?
No, that doesn't sound familiar.
The kill ended up hanging himself. Epstein's banker.
No, that's
well. He did too, but that was
Yeah.
like right after Epstein's death. It wasn't recently. So
there was one just recently
recently
that was tied to this for Maxwell's case. I'll have to look it up. This story is just so interesting. It's interesting to me. But about
keep
Betty,
you updated.
Yes.
About Betty.
Have you heard about Betty? Betty makes me happy. Do you remember that doll? I had one of those. I loved it. 2018. In August of 2018, PBS did a documentary called Betty White, the First Lady of Television. And it was filmed over 10 years. That's commitment.
Yeah.
And it featured a lot of her former colleagues and friends, just random clips of them over the years, which I kind of want to look that up too, because that was probably like, that's kind of fun to like a glance, like even 10 years ago from now, like things just look different. They're just different.
Yeah.
So here's your little humanitarian page. Hang tight. Oh, here we are. So 2019, Betty joined the Toy Story gang for Toy Story 4. She played Bitey
Oh yeah,
White.
I just watched that.
Yeah. The name was Bitey White, and it was a toy tiger. So that's fun. And she was, she's a Disney legend, so she's got like some plaques and shit at Disney. That's that. So this part, I call it Humanitarian Betty. So being a pet enthusiast and animal health advocate, she worked with several foundations and zoos. The Los Angeles Zoo Commission, the Morris Animal Foundation, African Wildlife Foundation, and Actors and Others for Animals. So those must be some heavy hitters, because those were the ones mentioned.
Very
and
cool.
In the 70s, she produced and starred in a show called The Pet Set, and it was showcase celebrities and their pets. And those monies, they went towards these foundations as well. So she is just like forever like an honorary president of the Morris Family Foundation. She has served as a trustee since 1971. And she's been
what is that?
30, that's 29, 79 years. No, I don't know how to math. Is that right? 30, 50.
What?
34, 9, 7.
49. She's 49 then. But what is the Morris Foundation?
It's just one of those animal foundations that she was like part of. And she was a member of the board for the Los Angeles Zoo since 1974. She also, this bitch crazy. She loved animals. She also served as the commissioner for 8 years for the Los Angeles Zoo. She was a commish.
Nice, really?
A commish on top of everything else. Like, wowzers, Betty. Doing it right. Doing it right, lady. So she's just
busy.
Obviously donated and raising tons of money.
They should have named her Busy White. That wasn't funny.
Not really. So she, in 1 month, in the month of April for 2008 alone, she raised $100,000. That's a lot of money for a zoo in 1 month.
Yeah.
So
is it?
Good
Is it?
job.
I don't know. Actually,
I don't know. I don't
the LA
really know
Zoo?
either.
I don't think so. I mean, it's a
Is it,
decent
like-
amount. Of course, that's a lot of money, but
Is it right in the middle of the city? Where's their zoo? Or is it like? Is there on the
No clue.
outskirts? No clue. I went to the Frankfurt Zoo in Germany. Fun fact, and it was just it. You wouldn't have known you were in a zoo. It looked like these animals could have just been walking around the downtown. The city was wild. Like it was a cool setup for sure. 2011 September. Betty teamed up with an English star, Luciana, to produce a remix of her hit song "I'm Still Hot." I vaguely remember this. When I started reading more about it, I vaguely remember her being in like a music video doing like old lady dancing. And it was supposedly made for a life settlement campaign, the Lifeline. So that's kind of funny.
I don't know what that is.
Like a life insurance. Like
Oh. Okay.
You know what I mean? They all have like fancy jingles and shit.
Okay.
Anywho, so here's a list of not even a full list, just what I felt like writing. It seemed important. Some of her awards, because there's just so many. So she won 5 primetime Emmys, 2 daytime Emmys, a regional LA Emmy in 1952, 3 American Comedy Awards, a Lifetime Achievement Award in 1990, 2 Viewers for Quality Television Awards. She was inducted into the TV Hall of Fame in 1995. She has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And literally, like, at least 9 or more awards for radio, books, and all of her charitable work for animals and stuff. So, whew, Betty. Goodness.
I want to hear her read the book "Go to Fuck to Sleep."
Or everyone poops. It was a funny one. Real crowd pleaser. So November of 2010, the USDA Forest Service and Smokey the Bear made Betty an honorary forest ranger. That was a lifetime dream of hers.
I'm sure she will contribute a lot.
Yeah, possibly.
I mean, I can see her hiking around, stopping forest fires and shit.
Put that out.
Not to denigrate her actual contributions. I'm so sorry.
No.
It's just, elderly people aren't known for their forestry skills.
Forestry? Well, here's the thing. It was a lifetime wish of hers, and as a little girl, she wasn't allowed to because women weren't allowed to do that kind of stuff yet. But it did say at the time.
Yeah, they weren't allowed to be producers and
rangers.
Business owners and stuff too. So I mean, she broke barriers other ways.
She really did, because it did make note that when they did that in 2010, that 3/4 of their company was now women. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know actually a couple of forest rangers who are women.
My friend Jazzy wants to be a park ranger, and it's just a cool thing.
Yeah.
I think it takes restaurant people are like a certain kind of people. I feel like forest people are like a certain kind of people, and they just like jive well together. So yeah, that was cool. Smokey the Bear, and there was some photo ops. 2011, a poll showed that she was the most popular, liked and trusted celebrity, beating out Denzel Washington, Tom Hanks, and Sandra Bullock. Everybody loves Betty.
Nice.
So, and then I just because I think on top of everything else she's done, she has a bunch of books that she published and wrote and yada. So in 83, she put out Betty White's Pet Love, How Pets Take Care of Us. In 87, she did Betty White in Person. In 91, The Leading Lady, Dinah's Story. 95, Here We Go Again, My Life in Television. 2008, Together, A Novel of Shared Vision. 2011, If You Ask Me, and of course you won't. And also in 2011, Betty and Friends, My Life at the Zoo. So she not only put out those books, but Here We Go Again and If You Ask Me are audiobooks that were highly popular. And she got a Grammy for one of them. If you ask me.
Very cool.
So yeah, dang. Have you heard about Betty?
Well, yes, you just did.
Now they have.
And that's it. That's all that she's doing up until now. Now she's in bed, sleeping, having some tea. She's sleeping and having tea at the same time. She's that talented.
And I feel like you still see her in like commercials and random things here and there. So she's still doing stuff, being awesome.
Yep. Yeah.
We're proud of you.
Yes, that was Betty White. Good stuff. Good stuff. So you want to take us home?
Yeah. If you want to talk to us, how would you do it?
If I wanted to talk to us, I would talk to us on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah.
And HigherMindsPodcast at gmail.com.
Yeah.
And Instagram. Yeah. If I didn't want to talk to us and I just wanted to listen to us, I would listen to us at SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes. Yeah.
Those are really good options.
Or pretty much, yeah. There's a lot of places you can find us. Just Google Higher Minds Podcast. Higher Minds Podcast.
Yeah.
You can Google the .com part too, but
check out our Facebook. We just post links to it too.
Yeah.
The easiest way. Everyone's on Facebook.
And I just updated our website with a new blog and a new like about and stuff, and added you to it and stuff. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Check it out, everybody.
Yeah. Tell your friends.
So, this is fun. This was a good.
It was.
One.
Yeah.
I feel good.
You know, we didn't introduce ourselves up top, so let's do it right now. This has been the Higher Minds Podcast. I'm Papa Darby.
Oh.
All right, deuces.